Shalom, and welcome to Challenging Torah. This is the week of the portion of Tazria, and we dedicate this portion to the memory of Tamar Freeman, who passed away this week during the second month of Adar on the 26th of March. Torah Tazria. We ask ourselves, what is the holiest moment that you have ever had in your life? I'd pretty much take bets that it didn't take place in the sanctuary, sitting in a pew, even on Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur listening to the cantor. May have been holy, but not the holiest moment in your life. What you probably will tell me is that I had an amazingly holy experience, either in watching my child or grandchild be born or birthing a child, or in a moment of death, where I was present as someone very beloved to me passed on. And of course, I have no way to record the moment of my own death, but I know deep inside that I need it to be an awesome holy moment. That's what this portion is really about. And we talk about what we call tahara and tumah. These are two words that are on a spectrum of purity, impurity we use as a translation, but it's not really right. Tu'umah really means to break the boundaries and to go into a place that is so awesome or so out of line that we don't quite know how to absorb it into our regular lives. So for us, it could be in a synagogue at a moment of a bar mitzvah or holding a Torah. It could be at birth or death, and all of these require a process to come back into normal, regular life. Our bodies tell us. Everything kind of shakes a little bit. It's like the screen isn't clear, and we need to settle back in. In the words of the introduction to our Torah book, Eitz Chaim, that we use, according to the sages, Tumah seems to be the result of coming into contact with an awesomely potent force, one that dislocates one from normal life and disqualifies you, in the terms of our ancient religion, from re-entering the sanctuary without going through a process of purification. We call that tu'umah, impurity, an unclear word, not always something that's dirty or terrible. How do we come from a place of tumah to a place of being back in a normal and pure and holy and open space that's not clouded by our contact with this awesome reality? We do that through a process of purification that we call tahara. So it's tumah and tahara. Tahara, how do we do it? Well, there's a number of ways. One way is just time. We say when the priest takes out in the Torah, in this Torah portion, the priest takes out the remains of a sacrifice. He's holding something really holy, but he is impure as he goes outside of the camp. What does he do? Basically nothing except wash his clothes and wait ad arev, until the evening. Time itself will bring about a purification, a place where you are back in balance. So we ask a woman in the Torah structure who has had a menstrual period to wait, because she's touched death in a way, to wait 7 days after her period is a process of tahara, because she is in a state of tumah. Time passes, and then we ask that she go to a mikvah. Mikvah is the other way. There's time, space, where we stay apart a little bit from everyone else, and then we have the bathing process, what we call mikvah, emerging in sacred waters. Well, I have to say, this was a week where I touched great tu'umah and great tahara. Anytime a birth or a death happens, we go into the zone. And so this week, our beloved Tamar Freeman passed away. I was there in the last hours before she died. I put my hands on her. I blessed her. I said the Shema 7 times. And soon after I left, she died. Her breath simply ceased. As I returned to her body is now the body of a person that we would declare dead. That's it. There was no more heartbeat. I put my hands on her. I closed her eyes. I kissed her. And I said goodbye. We are both, Tamar and myself, in a state of tumah. Impurity, because we've entered the zone of the super awesome. Tamar's body, probably as this is being recorded, goes through a very traditional process called tahara, or tahara, where we wash her body 7 times at the funeral home. There are actually 9 buckets of water, and she is wrapped in a shroud, and she is declared tahor, 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 pure, pure, pure. I, on the other hand, what do? Well, my instinct was to go home, put myself in a bath, actually my hot tub. Got up in the morning, I still was in an altered state. I needed to sit by the water. I needed to take myself out of the synagogue for a couple hours, not deal with the minutia, and sit and thank God for the amazing world in front of me. That's a process that time cleanses, water cleanses, and space cleanses. And then I'm able to come back and re-enter the sanctuary. This process is an endless giving and taking and giving and taking. We cleanse ourselves as vessels for holiness, and then we are put out of alignment. We gasp and return. I'd like to thank Tamar for all that she's given us and for being a model of what it means to struggle consciously through life, doing the best we can to be vessels for God's holiness. Shabbat Shalom.